talking about independent events, so tossing a coin twice. So tossing it once has no influence on what happens in the second one. So probability of A and B happening will just be the multiplication of the two, and probability of A complement stays the same. So let's look at, we've got a loaded coin. So the probability of a head is 0.7, and the probability of a tail is 0.3. So what's the probability of getting two tails? So there's only one way to get two tails. So that means I've got a tail and a tail. So that's going to be a 0.3. I meant to write that. 0.3 times a 0.3. Okay, so the probability of getting one tail, so there's two different ways. We've got a tail and a head, or I said that wrong, sorry. A head and a tail, or a tail and a head. So we take the probability of head times the probability of tail, and then we add on the probability of the tail times the probability of the head. So then we just get two of those, right? 2 of 0.3 times 0.7, and that's a fine answer. So what's the probability of getting no tails? So that means you've got a head. So that's going to be a 0.7 all squared. And then let's think about at most one tail. So at most one tail could be no tails, right? And so that would be a head and a head. Or, right, so or means addition, head and a tail, or a tail and a head. So that would give us a probability of head is 0.7, 0.7 squared, right? That's what this would give us. And then plus, we already know that these two are the same, so we'd get 2 of those 0.3, 0.7. So that's a fine answer. But let's think about how else we could do this, because there's going to be more than one way often. At most one tail, that would be all minus no tails. So all is always going to be 1 in probability land. Subtract no tails. So if it's no tails, that means you have heads both times. So that would be a 0.7 squared. So these two answers would give you the exact same. All right, let's toss it 10 times. Same coin, right? So let me just write here. Probability of heads is the 0.7. Probability of the tails is the 0.3. So what's the probability of getting no heads? So that means every time I toss it, I get the tail. And so that would be 0.3 to the 10th power. Then let's think about it again. At least one head, that would be 1 subtract no heads. And so I can say that that's going to be 1 minus, and the no heads would be all tails. So that would be 0.3 to the 10th power.